For example, all day I've been answering questions about what happened in the control booth this morning, but it doesn't seem like you're curious about that at all. Sometimes I can't tell if you don't care or at all, or if it's just the opposite and you care too much. Don't get me wrong, though. I saw you make that exact same face during the first few days of my transfer to the school, too. When you lived all around the world, you have certain expectations. In the end, you believe that you'll always have to play the role of the foreigner no matter what. You were always the only one who didn't care about that. To be honest, I thought you were a delinquent and that you were messing around to try to be the center of attention, but it wasn't like that. I realized something simple, that behind that role there's a real person.
It's person. Sorry, I thought it said reason.
Someone who would do whatever he wanted at any given moment, whenever he felt it was convenient. You made me view life in a different way. Instead of getting depressed and asking who I am or how I should behave, I started to happily wonder each morning who I would be for that day. And who cares if it doesn't fit anyone else's expectations, or if what I felt I was or wanted to be didn't make sense. It doesn't matter how contradictory it actually is. The roles we played were fun, and it truly was being friends with you all these years, Capadero. Womanizer, class clown, bookworm, delinquent narcissist. All we really want is a glimmer of happiness in our lives, something that gives us meaning and purpose. Or at least someone who will listen to us and give us a reason to enact whichever role we play that day. Isn't that the kind of person you're looking for?
I can't help but sigh as I listen to my friend's words. You know, Aze, being serious doesn't suit you at all.
Who would have thought?
He leaves. I almost said heaves or something. He leaves shortly after. Some of his words are still going through my mind. Aze, you make it sound too much like a farewell. I guess he knows more than he seems to. After all, we were friends all this time, right?
Letting screen.
The sound of my footsteps and the distant murmur of the occasional bird singing, tweet tweet, tells me that the day is finally about to come to an end. There are still vestiges of today's events everywhere. Now under this dusk, coppery light, they're merely fragments of memories that I'll never have the opportunity to experience. That time got dissolved instead in a dream and a short trip I made to pick up a thin folder that I now bring in my hands. The key event of the day, the graduation ceremony, has finally come. Oh, finally, they're going to graduate. A long speech before giving us these pieces of paper that we've been fighting for forever. But I didn't go. Once again, I was late.
Oh, good job, Andy.
I know, you're going to be held back again. I rest my back against the wall of the hallway, listening to the graduation ceremony from afar, since I don't want to interrupt it by entering. It's at this moment that I'm supposed to become an adult, but it's not as sweet to me as to my classmates, since I'm not reliant on a diploma, but on a woman.
Aren't you going in?
When I woke up, it was already too late. I don't want to bother anyone. I can pick it up another time. Ziva approaches me, not from the auditorium, but from one of the hallways. Her uneasy breathing and the bright red color on her skin make it clear that she has been looking for me until now. Now, face to face, however, she doesn't know what to say. She nervously clasps her hands together. Shouldn't you be inside? It's why you've been putting so much effort in lately.
You know that's not true. Also, as the committee boss, I have to make sure that everything goes well from a distance. It's not my place to be under the spotlight. That includes checking the attendance.
It's my responsibility. I should be punished if I'm late.
That isn't what I meant, Ciaran.
She unintentionally raises her voice. Both of us look towards the auditorium for a minute, worried that someone might have heard us quarreling. Once everything seems to be fine, Ziva takes a calming deep breath and then takes me to the side while pulling my shirt. She guides me to an adjacent hallway in order to stifle our noise. Now hidden in a small gap Behind the stairs, we resume our conversation, a conversation we should have had a long, long time ago. Oh, geez. We don't need that much of a profile on her upper body, do we? Go ahead.
I wanted to say, I don't know what to say, Andy.
Again, with the surname, not calling me Ciaran anymore.
That's...
Ziva's pupils grow, even in the darkness. She tries to say something but holds her tongue, forcing me to begin instead. How long has it been since you called me that?
At least 7 years.
Well, you also slipped up during the dramatic act we put on for the substitute teacher.
That doesn't count. The meaning behind those words, you took me by surprise.
She looks at her feet, kicking the floor for each word that she says. Everything we've been holding back, everything we couldn't say, we both knew that we'd eventually reach the end of this. Maybe that's why it's so hard.
Can you speak, Ciaran? Does it hurt more because it's me?
It feels like there's a sword piercing through my calf, but I'll bear with it. I have to do this. The special treatment ends here. No more acting like nothing ever happened because you're worried about reopening old wounds. After all, it's my fault to begin with. Ziva gets angry and loses control of her volume again.
That's not true. It's my fault. Always silent, I went along with anything. I let others make decisions for me. I acted like nothing really mattered, and I didn't realize how much it meant to me until I lost it. Since then, I swore that I would never let anyone make my decisions for me again, that I'll never again burden myself with regrets. I promised that I'd heal you, Ciaran. That's why I put in so much effort. That's why I never stopped studying. And I haven't given up yet, Ciaran. I think I still have a chance. I won't let you destroy everything with that terrible attitude of yours.
Again with psychology. It's difficult to look at her face. It's even difficult to stand still in front of her. But my words spill out from their weight. After saving them in my heart for so very long, all I need to do now is release them in the same way that I've rehearsed so many times. It's like you said, it's my attitude. There's nothing for you to regret. The problem is entirely in my head.
No, be quiet already and stop trying to carry all the blame all alone. Mistakes happen. You can't pretend that everything's perfect.
Perfect? A dry cackle rises in my throat when I hear that word. You criticized me when I tried to score a perfect game at the arcade too. The only one of us here that's obsessed with perfection is you, Ziva. What's with this? When has the school ever seen a grad event of this magnitude? How can you compare aiming for perfection in a silly video game to your ideal of recreating the Earth into a fantasy world? You've had everything planned since the beginning, every step, every word. You naively believed that you can create a perfect world here, when you know that no matter what you do, there's always a loser. You're acting like a child that's throwing a tantrum, Ziva. I pant as I speak, my vision clouds, and I'm unable to control my words. All I manage to see clearly are Ziva's lifeless eyes, as if something inside of her is slowly breaking apart, until it finally explodes.
I'm done. I'm done, Ciaran. I can't contain it any longer.
Is she gonna say I love you? Sorry.
Who do you think you are, speaking like that when you can barely stand up? Look at you, you're pale. 7 years. 7 entire years. And you're still the exact same. No, you're worse. What's your really issue?
You could just say issue.
I'm done with having to beat around the bush with you for everything, treating you like you're a stranger. That's all we are after all we've been through together. Everything with you is a bad joke. You can't take anything seriously, always using that sarcastic tone of yours. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I hate you even more. But don't let anyone bother that kid. He's sick, so be careful. And you dare to tell me that I'm acting like a kid throwing a tantrum? Forget you, Ciaran. Forget you for real. Why won't you accept my help or anyone else's help? Keep your poop opinions to yourself and try to be grateful for once. It's a difficult situation for everyone, not just you. Don't you get it? Why? I hate you, Ciaran. I hate you.
Her fists tap against my chest until she's tired. She grabs my shirt and buries her tearful face in it, a pathetic scene that displays what we've been avoiding all of these past years. I move my arm to lean against the wall and Ziva pulls herself along with me. The space between us becomes non-existent. I do understand, Ziva. And that's the exact reason I wanted you to forget about me. Her tearful eyes look up at me, not because she's scared of being squished, but because she pities me. She pities me for not having the strength to push us apart. But it's my fault too. I guess I never really said everything that I should have. She shakes her head, not wanting to listen. I want you to be free, Ziva. I'm sorry for not saying this before, for leaving you behind without cutting the ties that I'd created. I'm the one who started this, so I'm the one who has to end it for that reason.
Things got serious real fast.
Ziva, I want to break up. I feel her body shaking, then she stands motionless. In the background, the auditorium's doors open and fill the hallways with the cheerful voices of those anticipating the biggest celebration of their lives.
Don't mind us in the corner.
The noise it creates makes everything else go silent, our words forever lost between the cheers. A sadness that was hidden, a relationship that worked the opposite of how it should have. Everything we ever said was always the opposite of what we really thought. It's ironic how once again the sound of her sobbing is blanketed under the crowd's ruckus. As if it never happened in the first place. So was he serious about that breakup? Because it didn't sound like he had a relationship with any of them. Like a romantic one, I mean.
I know, maybe break up as friends.
Maybe, or a psychologist and patient. I walk away without looking back, climbing the stairs while slowly recovering my lost consciousness. I have to stop a couple of times along the way, inhale deeply, and wait until I'm confident that the pain has eased up. Somehow I manage to reach the top floor. It's difficult for my sweaty hands to grasp the banister. If Ozzy did what he was supposed to, she should already be here. I stand in front of what is now my old classroom.
Gonna break up with all the girls.
Oh no, it's still stripped down because of the mess we made this morning during the survival competition. No one cleaned that up? Anyway, from here I can see her already. A lone girl, sorry, wrong word. A lone girl peering out through the window in an empty and deserted classroom.
We have either a lazy janitor, lazy staff, or lazy students who didn't clean up.
Yeah. I knock once on the door and enter the room while she turns around to welcome me. We're alone, she and It's Luce!
Oh, I kind of thought it was Hat Girl.
Oh yeah, I was good, like thinking, is it Hat Girl again? Yeah, I ship these two. Ciaran and Luce forever.
Well, be careful. He might be breaking up.
Oh no, yeah, he might break up with her too. Oh, did you want to be Luce for this part, or should I?
Do you want to talk to yourself, or?
Not really.
Okay, I guess I'll be here. I thought you'd never come, CR.
She puts one of her hands on her waist as she tilts her head and smiles. I'm late because I had something to take care of. She's happy. She looks at me without believing or taking anything I say seriously, but that makes her happier.
You ask a girl to meet you in an empty classroom on graduation day and you get there late? Sure.
Luce is acting sly. She immediately turns her eyes to the window again. Over time, I've come to learn that she does that when she's nervous. Right now, she isn't calm, although she's happy in a way. I'm impressed at how easily I have come to understand her personality after such a short amount of time. Even so, maybe it's because of her intensity that I've paid special attention to her. Another reason to finish what I came here to do. Luce,
Wait a second, CR.
She interrupts me before I can finish my sentence. She hesitates, swallowing and pressing her lips with her fingers.
I have to tell you something first, about something I discovered. I know why you're right.
I frown in suspicion. For a moment, I don't know what she means.
You told me that you have your own reason to write, to carry that notebook with you. I know the reason.
I don't know how to react. My mind is blank, yet too overloaded to figure out how to react. All I manage to do is, give her a look, asking her to continue.
I understood it when I read it. The story from that contest, the one you never wanted to talk about. The story of the 3 friends entering a haunted mansion and one of them runs off until he's alone. It isn't a story that you made up. It's actually your own story, one of your past, your life.